Hi everybody, Kevin here. Welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. We've got a little bit of a different episode today. We're back working on cars, but maybe not quite what you expected. When I was a kid, and pretty much all the other kids I knew too, we all had one of these. Because we all went nuts building plastic models of cars and trucks and airplanes and army tanks and anything we could get our hands on. Gluing all those little plastic pieces together and painting them up. It was the coolest thing in the world, and we learned a lot about cars and stuff along the way. I, over the years, had hundreds, probably thousands of them. I bought, sold, horse traded, built them, sold built ones. Anyway, when we moved to our little place in the country here, I had all kinds of them. I hadn't touched one in years. I mostly sold off everything that I had. All my kits, all my built-up stuff, with the exception of a very few that I kept for different reasons. I'm going to start off with the one that means more to me probably than any of the others. If any of you remember me when I was a kid, you remember my dad's blue 76 Pontiac. It was a sedan, not a coupe or actually a hatchback like this one, but hey. This is what they had a model of, so this is the one I put together. Dad's had a red Buick 350 in it. That's the way GM used to build cars back then. They had put Buick engines in Pontiacs, Oldsmobile engines in Buicks, Chevy engines in Buicks. They just kind of did whatever they felt like doing. I think there was even a big court case over it. Anyway, this is basically just your run-of-the-mill MPC annual kit. I didn't really do all that much to it. I don't know if the wheels came in that kit or not. I can't really remember. It's got, this one's got a Pontiac engine in it. With the Trans Am shaker. I think the kit was actually a GTO. In 76, the GTO trim could be gotten on a Ventura. So here we got a Pontiac engine. Is it a 350? Is it a 400? Who knows, but it looks good. It's got a 4-speed. I took the liberty of, there was I think an old AMT Nova SS kit that I took the exhaust system from. It was way better than what this came with. And anyway, that's my old Pontiac. I hope you like it. I built this thing, so long ago. I probably didn't need glasses when I built this. Anyway, on to the next one. So in 1999, I was goofing around at my garage and I broke my hand. So for 6 weeks, it was pretty nasty. I split one of the metacarpals from one end to the other. I had to have surgery, get pins in it, all that stuff. So I lost the use of my right hand for 6 weeks. So when I finally got the cast off, the doctor recommended not any kind of heavy physio, but just, kind of get doing stuff again. So I decided, well, I've got all these model kits in the basement. I'm gonna put a couple together. So one of the ones that came across was this Barracuda. What year is it? I think it's a 69. It's a Formula S Barracuda. So it's basically just a straight out of the box build. Let me see if I can get the hood open. There we go. Again, an old MPC kit from way back in the day. The body is nice. The body is really nice. I like the body. What I would like to do, it's very basic, primitive detail underneath. But anyway, I think it looks nice when it's together. What I would like to do is, I have another one of these kits. And I would like to put this body on the AMT 71 Duster chassis. They're the same wheelbase, everything like that, but it's a way better chassis. So anyway, but for now, we'll just go put our little Barracuda back on the shelf. This one I had a lot of fun with. This one I did at the tail end of my hand recuperation, although I had started it many years earlier and never finished it. This is a Mitsubishi pickup, or a Dodge D50, I guess you could also call it. And for me, it's just reminiscent of the trucks that I used to see roaming around in the larger junkyards back in the day, or I don't know, whatever. Something I just kind of pulled out of thin air. I had a lot of fun doing this. The underneath is done up too. You know, I like it. You can see the parking light hanging by the wires there because the lens is long gone. The engine's all done up in it. This was a lot of fun. And I caught wind of, in 1999, a model contest, which is something that I had not participated in for many years. So I took this and entered it in, I don't know, the class was emergency and service vehicles. And hey, what do you know? We got first place. It was a shock to me. But anyway, I've kept this one all this time. I really like this little Dodge pickup. So let's see what's next. Here's another one of my favorites, second only to the 76 Pontiac. Back when I got word that the King himself was coming to the Toronto International Auto Show for an appearance. I don't know if it was part of his farewell tour, or I just can't remember. It was too long ago. But anyway, I ran to the hobby shop and got this, or I already had it in stock, and I put it together, and I took it down, and there you have it, signed by the King himself. And this is one of my prized possessions, that's for sure. I was always a Petty fan. So this is pretty cool. I put it together pretty quickly, but it turned out pretty well, I think. It stood the test of time, that's for sure. You know? From one of the last great eras of NASCAR racing. In the trunk, big fuel cell. This one's pretty much just out of the box. I blasted the body with Petty Blue, whatever mix that is. This is Tester's Sea Blue, I think it used to be called. And the fluorescent red is just a can of fluorescent red I got at Canadian Tire. This is purely a rattle can job. And then a whole bunch of coats of clear over top of the decals and everything. That turned out okay. It looks great sitting on the shelf anyway, I'll tell you that. So anyway, I hadn't touched a model kit in, well, a very long time. And then a few years ago, somebody gave me this. I've always loved Star Trek. I've always loved the Enterprise. So I put this together and hung it from the light above my workbench at work. And it hung there until I retired. And once I retired, I brought it home, and the Enterprise sits on my TV up in my den now, so I can always keep an eye on it. But that's what kind of got me a little bit going again. It's not like I started into a frenzy after I did this, but anyway, I've always had them on my mind. And then very recently, I was cleaning up my basement and found my hobby cabinet, which is that old file cabinet over there, and I went to clean it out. And one thing led to another, and it became obvious that when I reorganized it and wanted to actually be able to get at things, that everything was not going to fit back in. So in these top couple of drawers, I've got my, supplies and my kit and whatnot. There's my airbrushes. This toolbox usually sits here. That takes up those two drawers. And the bottom two drawers are my stockpile. I don't have a ton of them. I've just picked them up here and there over the years. My brother got me this. I'm going to put this together one day and impress him. I've got a plan for that too. I also have plans for these. I've got a couple of little projects I want to do, but I am shocked that with all the aftermarket stuff that's available for these model kits now, nobody makes a set of decals with the stripes for a 70 duster. It's ridiculous. I might have to make my own and start selling them. Anyway, this one here is another one that I'm going to enjoy. My grandfather got me this when I was a kid, and I promptly destroyed it. I never even finished putting it together. I just wasn't, I wasn't a big enough kid to take on a project like this. This is quite an intricate kit, and I was probably 9 or 10 years old, and I just destroyed it. So I searched and searched and searched and found another one on eBay, and it was complete and in nice shape. So I'm going to do this one day. Underneath, I've got the 1/16 petty charger, which is going to be another big project for another day. And at the very bottom of this is my box of Dodge trucks. That's a whole nother project we'll get into some other time. But anyway, there were two that I had that wouldn't fit back in this cabinet. So we'll get to them now. This is the AMT 71 Duster. This is a really nice kit. I really enjoyed putting this one together. Now, bear in mind, this is what they call a Pro Shop kit. So it's when you get it, it's already all painted. You literally just have to put it together. And I thought this would be a nice project to kind of get me started again, because I hadn't touched one of these things in years, and I didn't want to start painting and mucking around. I just wanted to get used to handling the tools and the little parts and see if my eyesight could even handle it. So I thought this would be a great one to put together. Coffee. So I came up pretty. I screwed up a couple of things on it, but all in all, it's pretty good. It'll look good. Who wouldn't want to have the car from the Heartbeat City sitting on their shelf, you know? The only problem I have is that the hood, they had this thing so tightly packaged, the hood's kind of warped. And I've been slowly working on it, getting it unwarped, but I still got a little work to do, you can see. So that's that. It is what it is. Now, they give you steerable wheels, but there's no tie rod between them. That's something interesting. But I really like the kit, and I've got two more of them over in the cabinet there. And I want to make an actual model of my green 70 Duster, and I want to make another one of the yellow 70 Duster that I'm going to put together one of these days if I ever get around to it. So that's that. Let's get to the last one that I did. I just finished it last night. This here is the Revell Visible V8. Isn't this cool? This thing dates back to the 60s. It's a reissue, of course. There's a few differences on this one from the original one. The original one had a little electric motor that actually went in here, and a little pinion in here that would drive the ring gear and it would actually turn it. But this one doesn't have that. And oddly enough, they tell you to turn it the wrong way. That's pretty amusing. It's supposed to turn this way. But anyway, whatever makes them happy. So there you have it. The Visible V8. This thing was a bugger to put together. I had to make a couple of small modifications to it. Namely, the timing cover. The engagement of the crank gear and the cam gear is not that great. And I was afraid it might actually jump timing. So rather than glue the timing cover on like they told you in the instructions, I drilled it out and tapped it 440, and I used 3 screws to screw the timing cover on, so I could actually take the front of the engine apart if it ever jumps timing. But it's pretty cool. I mean, you can take it apart and put it back together. The cylinder heads are just held on with these 2 screws, so you can take the heads off, the intake, everything all comes off it. It's really quite interesting. The guys at work got this for me when I retired. it was fun, and it really got my fingers and my brain working. So that's it. You're up to speed. Everything that I have that I've put together is in this video, and I'll show you what I'm going to work on next. I forgot to mention the fellas at work also gave me this little Tamiya kit to motorize my Visible V8, and that'll be a project for another day. I'll see if I can come up with some way of making this turn it. It's got that crank on the back, so we should be able to attach it to that. And make it so it actually, kind of runs. So this is what I've decided I'm actually going to build. I'm going to do just kind of some mild detailing on it. And to get myself back in the swing of painting the little parts. And I built a few of these when I was a kid. They go together pretty nicely. And always something about a nostalgic stock car. Just love them. It's not a bad kit. So I'll make a video about this as I put it together and some of the little modifications and things I do to it. It should be a blast. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it and telling you about my model cars. I wish I had pictures of the hundreds of them that I made over the years, but all gone. Anyway, hopefully down there you could leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, like this video, share this video. I do it for you guys. It's fun. All of us, we all know something about something, and if we share that with each other, we all benefit. Anyway, until next time, this is Kevin checking out from the Claremont Classic Garage. Thanks, and so long.